Ladies and gentlemen, Parsons alums and friends, my name's Dave Neff, and I'd like to share a few moments with you and recognize a few people here this evening that have made this next phase of the Barhydt Window possible. Most all of you here realize where this came from. Many of you as students were in the chapel on a regular basis. Others, as we got to be seniors, didn't show up quite as frequently in chapel. But at the same point it was there, and it was a monument to our college, Parsons College, Fairfield, Iowa. The building was built in 1910, and these windows were installed at that initial time period. I'd like to read a little bit as to the history of them, and then I'm going to introduce Lynn Cornick, who is president of Boulevard Studios, who did all the restoration. The angel window from Barhydt contains several details that make it unique and important to the history of American stained glass. These details include the design, manufacturing process, and materials used in the construction. When first viewing the window, it's apparent that there's a strong influence from Louis Tiffany Studios. Tiffany pioneered the use of opalescent glass and made prominent use of angel figures in many of his designs. The Barhydt angel window not only makes use of opalescent glass, it emulates design features and construction practices commonly found in Tiffany windows. For example, the flesh portion of the figures are painted in a similar style and technique to Tiffany that is reinforced by his common use of the glass plating, adding softness and depth to those areas. The wings are prominently features of the windows, and they're executed nicely with the extensive use of Tiffany-invented glass called herringbone. This glass is a vibration of rippled glass and is produced by manually manipulating molten glass to change the texture, direction in every few inches, making it a perfect use to show feathers. Likewise, this window uses other Tiffany creations called drapery glass. This is, as the name implies, it looks like folded in a drapery. Is manually manipulated when molten, and the shape is kept as the glass cools. The perfect mix of opalescence is mixed into these pieces, making them more obscure in the thicker folds and brighter and more transparent in the thinner sections. It makes it appear as a lifelike representation of a flowing fabric without the application of more traditional painting. Boulevard Studios was proud to have the opportunity to restore and repurpose this treasure of the community, maintaining the original content and style throughout the adjustments necessary for the new installation. It's a true relic of the creative genius of American art and creativity in the world. It is fitting now it will continue to reside in a creative home such as Fairfield. At this point, Lynn Cornick, president of Boulevard Studios, will come up and share their perspective on it. Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was a great privilege to work on a window of this quality. It's very lucky to have a window like this in Fairfield. When you first look at it, as Dave was talking about, you look at it and you sense Tiffany's hand in this window. A lot of great glass, a great craftsmanship and artistry to begin with. The value of the window will only enhance as time goes along. This type and this quality of window is not something that you run into every day. With all of the windows, and we do thousands of windows each year, this is one of my top favorites that we have worked with. It's just a beautiful combination of glass and artistry. So you should be very, very thankful, very privileged to have something of this quality here with you. And we really appreciate as Boulevards to have the opportunity to help conserve this stained glass heritage and for future generations to enjoy the privilege of viewing something like this. So enjoy, and thank you very much for the opportunity to participate in this opportunity to preserve it. Thank you.
Thank you. It was 1 year ago this weekend that we sat and discussed what's the next step, the phase 3, shall we say, of this window. The first 1, 2, 3 sections were built and constructed, but the top layer of 4 panels remained open glass. And local lady, Carrie Hickenbottom, succumbed to cancer, and her family felt very strongly that they wanted to be a part of this. Even though she did not attend Parsons, but they still had a strong feeling. And so a year ago, we dedicated the top 4 panels. And at that time, we threw the challenge out to our Parsons alumni and friends and said, we would like to illuminate this. We would like to make it so people at nighttime, when they come to this Sondheim Center for the Performing Arts, when they're passing by on the outside at nighttime, that everybody will have a chance to enjoy this to a degree, as Bob Tree says, never seen before. And the reason for that, this piece was on the north side of the Barhydt Chapel. And until it moved here, it never had a southerly exposure. And now, with the illumination process, it will take place. The challenge went out. 9 months later, we had gained over $13,000. Sorry about that, Rustin. I wish I could help you more on that. $13,000, and we were able to give Boulevard, we're doing this, we're moving forward. They gave their blessings, and we decided, why not use MUSCO lighting from Oskaloosa? Most of you are aware of MUSCO and the history, but some folks are from out of town here visiting. MUSCO started in Oskaloosa and Muscatine, Iowa. They've grown to be not just a national, but an international preeminence. One of the big steps they took was at 9/11, when the Twin Towers went down, the recovery process, they sent their own lighting trucks, gratis, to that area. They were the first to light Iowa football games, and they are in 20 or 30 different countries now. So without a doubt, they're the world premier in this, and so we said, MUSCO, come and help us. August, a year ago, Bob met with them, Bob Glocky met with them, and we visualized what it would be. We put the call out, the 13,000 came in, and at this time I'd like to share with you the names of those alums and friends that made this happen. Edith Jordan, who could not be with us this evening, Dr. Bob Tree, Frank Chalant. I don't see Gene Copeland here, but he'll be honored tomorrow on our wall. Paul Emery.
Gene's right over there.
Gene Copeland, you're in the, I'm sorry, Gene. Got a wave over here. Okay, thank you. Lee Gobble couldn't be with us, but we have close folks that work with Lee on a daily basis, Linda and Leon Connolly, that they're here, so thank you. David and Barbara Harding, David and Tamara Hubler, J.D. Miller, Dan and Shirley Parker, Virginia Pickerel, Raymond Stolarczyk, Marilyn Ukart, Jenny Walker, and I think Vera Young. Did I see Vera in here? Okay, right here. There's another supporter that made this happen. So, Vera, thank you very much. You've heard enough from me. I think it's time to see what it looks like. Dr. Tree, would you join me, please?
Okay, let's give Bob a 3, 2, 1. There you go.
And so we'll let Brian focus on this for a moment. This is live streaming to all of our Parsons alums, wherever they may be in the country. And this will also be part of a permanent piece that will reside on our Alumni Association website. This is the side that when the center is quiet, when the lights are off, there's no performances, which doesn't happen too often, Rustin. This is for the passers-by, the people who will be walking, biking, and coming by car on the outside. The second piece we have, if you take a switch and come down a notch and down one more notch. So turn it off and go down one more. And these will be the outside lights that will come on when people are inside at nighttime. And the beauty of this, it's all on an automatic timer. So we don't have to ask Brian or Rustin or someone to come over and flick the switch at nighttime. When we walked in a few moments ago, the window was dark, and all of a sudden the lights came on. So it will be on an automatic for us. Thank you very much. Appreciate your time in coming, your support, and for those of you, Livewire Electric. They're Rod, Bev, He's not here. Bev, okay, Bev's husband, Rod, and his crew did all the wiring coming through. They had to drop the box from here and inside, outside, and as part of this, there's also marquee lights that come on to the future events, as well as the Civic Center and CVB logo on the piece over here. So thank you all for your support very much, and enjoy the presentation this evening, and come back tomorrow morning for our Wall of Honor. Thank you very much.